with all their backhoes. They chipped half of my driveway away. They put holes. I told the town guy who was here, what are you talking about? You're not going to pave the whole road. They chipped this whole side of the road so when people are walking in the dark and they move out of the way, the little girl tripped. So I filed a complaint and he came back and they wouldn't even look at me, shoveling stuff. We're just going to put the things. And they piled more leaves. I finally picked them up to see how much damage was done.
So you've had no water. You had no water for how long?
I just
on
got
property?
it.
So
I
since
bought
2011?
July 2011. 2013, it took me 2 years.
2 years without water, and
Right.
you're a taxpayer.
Hauling it in. Because not a damn person would do
And
a
they
thing.
put sewers down, but they didn't put any water.
City septic. And I can't even find where the city septic comes out of my house because the plat they have on file, which is the only plat I got with the house, doesn't show the city septic lines. I mean, it's almost like, gee, guys, I mean, do you do anything for me? I'm paying you, I pay on time since I bought, and I have gotten really little help from them. Very little.
You think as a taxpayer, if they change the land use up above and it dries your well up, that you would have some kind of recourse.
Which I believe, they said it used to be fine. But, I mean, I only moved here in 2011, and that was already built, and I don't know. Now, you've got people on South Street. I can tell you a gal right next to this place, she's got no water. But she has to pay the project manager. They own the rights to that city water for 10 years or something. So she'd have to pay her to tap in. So she can't even afford to bring water. So you've
The
got
project
South
manager
Street
for the development owns the rights to the city water?
because she brought the water line up from Route 6. So there's like a 10-year period where she owns the right. Now I own the end of the main.
So if
But
someone
there's
else needs
nobody
water,
between us. But if somebody had to tap in, they'd have to pay me. Well, that's ridiculous. Why can't we all just get water?
yeah.
So
Wow.
Pat's been living around the corner. Pat and Jim, they got no water. They're on 262. Bet you could go down 262 and find a whole bunch of people with no water. Bet you'll find them over in North Street. Bet you take a poll of Plymouth and you find 50% of your taxpayers have no water.
Wow.
Yeah, these are artesian wells. They were all built in the early 60s.
That
and then,
development
I'm not going to say it was that development, but you developed all the way up the road. The aquifer is Lake Plymouth. So as you break up that aquifer, it no longer runs where it used to run. This is all ledge, granite ledge. Nobody wants to touch it. It took me forever to find out, oh my God. Now who buys a house and thinks, okay, where's the aquifer? Am I on granite ledge? It's
Yeah.
$200 per foot if they hit ledge because we're not allowed to blast anymore. So the town apparently realized what was going on some years ago, and there's a no blast zone.
So
now it has to be hand dug by your contractor if they hit ledge.
So the land use planning is dictating where water is and where it isn't, basically, is what it comes down to.
Aquifer, if you look it up on a map, which I did in my becoming a developer and trying to work with the town and the permits and the contractors and Connecticut Water, who's very frustrated, they'll go to another town before they'll come here because they get no assistance here. But like I said, Bristol, I talked to my friends out in Long Island. They would never even let a home have no water. The town would pay to bring that water in.
Well, you have an expanding conservation zone, it looks like, here in Plymouth.
Yeah. So, anyway, who would ever think? And then to think, oh my God, are you kidding? I'm on Granite Ledge. Well, the aquifer is Lake Plymouth. It goes down to Todd Hollow over here, and then it flows down to the Naugatuck Valley, Naugatuck River.
So let me guess,
ledge.
Let me guess, over by Lake Plymouth, there's no new development allowed either.
I have no idea. But I do know that sporadically you'll have people that have water. My contractor is up on 262 that way, But his well, he's a contractor, so he went all the way down in his property to this low zone. He's got water, Walter McDonald,
Mhm.
because he's in the low.
Right.
Water doesn't come across the road, so we have no water. But
Unreal.
there's a guy right next to him who has no water.
And what is that
Patty
develop?
and Dave, no water.
What is that development up there?
That is an over 55 community. His wife, it was the project manager.
Oh, yeah, because I remember that
Evergreen.
McDonald.
Susan
Mhm.
McDonald.
Is that a state program that runs that,
No.
or
I
is
don't
that
think so.
just a
Private.
private thing?
Yeah.
Yep, they built, but they didn't even get enough people to move in to warrant putting in the facilities they said. So they ran a, they asked everybody, well, what do you want to do? Do you want the pool? If you do, it's going to make the fees go higher. And they said no, because most of the units aren't even full. Nobody moved in. So
Great
there's
big
nothing
development
offered.
that's half empty. Sounds familiar. Looks like
Sean-
we're having that
Sean-
all across the state, as a matter of
Sean
fact.
is, Sean is, he's from Bristol, and
Well, Bristol, they'll help you get water.
Yeah, Bristol's a development zone and in the region.
So,
I'm learning a lot about land use and
so you
conservation.
picked the wrong
and
person because I'm just so
no, we
upset.
picked the right
no
person.
idea.
You weren't even on our list. We just stopped to talk to you because you were out here, and I'm happy that we did.
Well,
as a matter
just
of fact.
talking to a guy trying to get a dry basement because I may have no water coming into the well, but my house is a berm, and obviously they didn't do anything right. It's on sand, so it doesn't. So I'm trying to find out how to make it dry because now my mom, who just fell with dementia, who's 86, needs to go somewhere. My sisters have said, well, you're the likely candidate because I can't find a job.
You're
So why
scraping.
not take care of mom? Well, that means I got to move stuff down to the basement, and I'm not going to move it down there.